Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We have a DRG going up against ByuN in the Katowice Asia closed qualifiers. Best of 5, starting us off on Oceanborn. Now, DRG is a name that if you've been close to StarCraft at all at some point, you've heard this name. This map has been around since, I want to say, Wings of Liberty. And, you know, form is temporary, class is eternal. ByuN throws out the double barracks wall at the front. Of course, you can... well, you can do it on both sides, but you'd prefer to do it on the right side because your add-ons will be placed on the inside of your barracks and not on the outside, so they won't be sniped by Ravagers or other units. So this is definitely the preferred side for ByuN here. Going for the one gas. Oh, third barracks actually. Oh. Uh-oh. DRG going to scout this correctly. This can be pretty dangerous if you assume that this is a 2 racks and not a 3 racks. There can suddenly be a lot more Reapers showing up at your front door than you are expecting. If you're DRG, he's luckily mining with 3 on his gas right now, trying to get that speed out ASAP, double queen, and 4 lings underway. But as you can see, he doesn't know anything yet. 2 Reapers underway. Third barracks is done, but just not enough gas just yet to start the third Reaper for ByuN. There it goes, fires up the third Reaper, and I feel like his gas is a little late. You can't start the 4th Reaper yet. There it does go, 4th Reaper. And DRG has seen that 1 Reaper coming out. He sees the 2 barracks. Now he needs to go in and check if there is a CC. Oh my god, double depot here, scouting out any potential Overlord and maybe Niduses in the future. Double Reaper here. Trying to get some kills. Let's see, we missed 1 drone kill. Sorry about that, I thought only 1 Reaper was all across the map. So DRG already in overdrive here, trying to defend these Reapers of ByuN. And he's of course called Micro Jackson for a reason. Getting some cheeky shots up onto these lings, hopping up 1 Reaper to give vision, using the other Reapers to shoot down the lings. Lots of lings did get killed there. Speed is almost done, and DRG is committed to just stopping this with speedlings and queens. And mostly speedlings. I don't see any additional queens coming out right now. Oh, there comes the 5th one. And ByuN has stopped producing Reapers, so he's stuck. Or, well, not stuck. He stopped at 8 Reapers. Now we're getting an engineering bay. We're getting +1 out, probably. And, I mean, DRG's stuck on 2 base here. But if he gets a grab on these Reapers, should be good. Now what is his transition? Not mining any gas just yet, just making more lings. And now starting up the droners. Guess now realizing that this Reaper number is not increasing. And third base underway for DRG. See the orbital coming up for the Terran player at a factory as well. We see Stim coming out, only 1 tank lab here with double reactor on the other barracks, and yes, there we go, +1. So we can see a pretty hefty bio attack coming out with that +1. And it's kind of funny to see this many Reapers on the map still. They're actually quite good at fighting high amounts of lings. As long as you don't get surrounded, you can trade very well. And of course, you don't want to get caught on creep. Decent amount of Marines here, making sure that a counter Ling Bane bust can be defended by good splits, getting a bunker, etc. There is a Baneling Nest underway now, but some Zergs, not pointing any fingers, do like to just bust the front after Terrans do stuff like this, because they only have bio, basically. There's no way they have a starport. They probably don't have a lot of factory units, if any. So doing some type of bust, be it Ravager Ling or Ling Baneling, can be quite potent if you defend it very well. DRG, however, choosing for just macroing up behind it, and he didn't take a lot of damage, but he did make a lot of lings. So that's kind of like indirect damage. These could all, of course, be drones. But DRG is slightly ahead in the drone, so we don't see a third base from ByuN here. Do see a move out here with Stim and +1 almost done. So this is going to be a big suicide squad of Marines, but they are going to be doing hella damage. Oh, never mind, actually. The medevacs will come out in time, and ByuN is waiting with this attack for these medevacs to arrive, I think. Yeah, they're boosting on over. So ByuN is not going to commit into this Zerg player until he has his medevacs present. So he can load up at least 16 units to get them out of there if there's a lot of banelings. No baneling speed because the lair isn't done yet. Do see a Spore Crawler in the main. I'm not sure. Maybe it's against Liberators. Maybe DRG just really hates getting dropped there. But I imagine he practiced this map quite a bit. Oh, look at the Reapers just cleaning up all of the creep. Now, queens do get in front. This is a lot of queens. 8 queens are ready for the defense, but that's all of the queens except for the one in the main. And that one over there. Damn, 10 queens on the map. More Lingbane. Even a couple drones being snuck in there by DRG. 1-1 is underway as well, so DRG just absorbing the blows as they come. And he knows there is no third base. At least it hasn't been landed yet. And we know that there is no third CC at all. Nice little Baneling counterattack here. Oh my god, these Banes are actually getting caught by the Reapers. Banelings do not turn around at the edge of that vision. So all of them actually getting taken down by the Reapers. That is not good. That's not what you want to see if you're DRG. I don't know what those Banelings were doing out there. I think he wanted to get like a nice wraparound onto the army. But he got spotted and punished heavily by ByuN. Fourth base underway here for DRG, and now suddenly his position looking a little dicey here for DRG. Army supplies are pretty equal. Now the tanks siege up at the heart of the bases of DRG and grabbing center control here. Big army is ready to swoop in from the back, but you need to coordinate this really well if you are DRG. Some Banelings already rolling and getting shelled down by the tanks. But the Marines do get shoot away from the natural of DRG. Baneling Nest almost dead. Some Lings and Banes trying to grab some reinforcements here. Even some Liberators joining the fight. And now the Queens get gone on. 1-1 is not done yet. ByuN targeting down the Carapace upgrade. Oh my god, that's the most important upgrade versus Bio. If you are the Zerg pieces. And now Zerg comes in from the back. He's like, my upgrades are not going to finish. I'm going to take this fight. Bio gets loaded up into the medevacs, and the rest of the position does get cleaned up by DRG. But his +1 Carapace did get delayed. That does hurt. You don't have Chrono Boost. You have no way of speeding up that upgrade. You just got that upgrade denied, and now you will be behind that upgrade for the rest of the game. If ByuN adds on a secondary Engineering Bane Armory and keeps up his upgrades, third base is underway for ByuN, with more barracks being added on as well. This third base is giga late. His attack was super committed, and he can still abuse the Zerg quite a bit. He has +1, and there's no +1 armor. And of course, all of the Zerg units right now are melee units. So these shooty boys, the boys with gun, they get their shots off first. So that armor is super important for Zerg units to even get on top of the army. Like, engaging just has that initial cost of the first couple units that will always die before your units can attack. You know, the inherent advantage of ranged versus melee. Now, ByuN splitting up his army into 2 portions, has the tanks once again going to siege up the natural this time. And, oh no, can he deny another upgrade? That would actually be terrible for DRG. Tries to wrap around that army, but it's a little bigger than he thought it was. Very awkward to engage into this position. Now the Lings and the Banes are swarming on in. All of the Banelings have been targeted down by ByuN. Oh my god, look at the target fire. And I thought that army was big enough to deal with it. The tanks do go down, and the upgrades are in peril once again. All of these queens just transfusing away. And in the meanwhile, we also have an attack still brewing at the 4th base. DRG holding on 2 sides. And still no 3rd base is down for ByuN. So if DRG holds on, I think he has a good shot at crushing ByuN later on. Now we do see Grooved Spines almost finishing up the Hydra range. And Hydras also being added on into the army now. Finally, those are the first 4 Hydras. And those will be able to deal with these nasty medevacs. And maybe even with the Liberators if they get a good position on them. Marines going out trying to snipe a couple of these Banelings. But the Banelings do have speed and are on creep. Little trait there. This Marine force and some Reapers still. 2 Reapers still remaining on the field. Reapers been present since the start or dawn of ages. The start of this game. And now 2-2 can finally be started for ByuN, and we can see that DRG actually now almost up an upgrade. But you want to be up a Carapace upgrade. You know, you'll take melee, I guess. And ByuN's still trying to abuse this ledge to the max. That Spore Crawler really coming in clutch. Hydra's here getting a good position on both of the Liberators and targeting down the tanks. Oh, Hydra's actually let that Liberator be. Another Queen dies for that decision. But the 4th base of DRG still mining, still going strong. 60 workers, though. He's a 60 drone Zerg. And those can make some weird jumps. They can be very dangerous, but also kind of die sometimes. DRG probably knows that there is a 3rd base now. But he also knows there's no 4th base. So he feels pretty comfortable sitting on those 60 workers, now going up to more. Although he needs a base to saturate. To use those extra workers. He's been on his first 2 bases so long that they've been starting to mine out. And DRG moving over to secure a 5th base. But, oh my god, ByuN has been doing a super good job using his siege units to take super annoying positions. And if you're DRG, you wish you had way more creep out here. 5th base just got planted down, but gets cancelled almost immediately. And DRG kind of taking a fight there off of creep. ByuN, is he going to siege the natural once again? Guys, don't put buildings here. Never again. Don't do it. Just don't. Or if you're gonna do it, make a backup one. And here we go. ByuN, once again, look at this. You can't get your Lings and Banes in here. ByuN, even using a siege tank here is kind of a pseudo wall. Look at the Zerg here. He's going to wash up onto this wall. All of these Marines getting really fresh trades. And all of the Marines are loaded up into the medevac. And most of them are safe. Decent trade there by ByuN. I was actually expecting kind of a better trade there. But barely not enough Marines to just be a real meat grinder. Just imagine if he had Carapace 2. That would have been even worse for ByuN. Now these 2 medevacs being super annoying. This is why we used to play Mutas back in the day. You just didn't want to deal with this stuff. Just make Mutalisk and kill the medevacs. Nowadays, these Terrans have it easy. They can just save their medevacs, use their medevacs to save their units, and at some point they just kind of have 10 medevacs. And then like, nice! Now I can make Liberators, I can make Vikings, I can make other air units, or I can just use the resources to build other units. Such as more tanks, more mines, be annoying. Oh, nice Baneling hit on that drop there from ByuN. DRG getting a nice hit in there. And now ByuN looking at a 4th base here. 5th base for DRG has been established. He's still on 60-ish drones. Oh my god, big surround here by the Lings, but most of them just kind of wash up against the big wall of Marines. And yeah, the service area just wasn't there for the Lings. And now ByuN is on the chase. More Banes being morphed in. Finally, a Hive is being added on. 6 base as well for DRG. Still stuck on this 62 worker count. And the Terran has caught up in upgrades. I think as long as DRG doesn't get 3-3'd, he's kind of fine. Wow, this was actually a floated 1st base. So ByuN doesn't have as many mules. Well, this is usually PF anyway, so it doesn't really change anything for ByuN. It's economy. But what I want to say is, if ByuN gets 3-3, as Zerg, you're dead. You're just dead. Because Zerg is basically on lair tech, and we tried this all of Heart of the Swarm, where we just stayed on lair tech, 2-2, and then we went Mutalisk upgrades as our end game. And our whole thing was get a clump of mutas that is too big to deal with. And then if our opponents got 3-3 and our muta clump didn't kill them yet, then we just kind of died. Because 3-3 Marines are too good against 2-2 Zerg units. And looking at this, DRG is going for a different answer. He is getting Adrenal, I love that. It's a super value upgrade. And he also got some Infestors. So he can maybe mitigate a little bit of that upgrade advantage that ByuN might have in the future. +3 is starting with some Infestor play. Now the 5th base did get evacuated right away. This whole position has been given up, and ByuN notices he's not even taking the time to go take down that 5th base. He's going for the throat here. Viper does come out, and DRG just retreating further back and further back. We need some Banelings in here. Kill these Marines. They're super low HP. We see the Fungal boys in the back. Infestors coming out. Not quite getting the Fungals on top of the Marines. They do get some Fungals on top of the Medevacs. All been targeted down by the tanks. Very nice job by ByuN targeting down all of the Infestors. But there was enough Ling, Baneling, and Hydra to clean up all of the tanks, actually. Oh my god, such a good job by DRG. Taking down all of those tanks when all of these Marines are still stuck in the Medevacs, but now he has to retreat. All of these Marines are here. More Infestors coming. Couple Banelings. Where are the Banelings? No Banelings done yet. ByuN can really push his advantage here. Every trade you can take without Banelings being present is super good for ByuN here. And +3 is coming. Adrenal is done, though. More Infestors coming out because no Infestors survived the last push from ByuN. No run-bys happening here from DRG either. He needs all of his units here. But he does have a 5th base mining. 6th base now being taken down. Long forgotten by DRG. And this is kind of a rough moment here. Look at this position. No creep left. And we do see a small run-by here from DRG. Kind of trying to get some work done. And in the meanwhile, also collapses onto this position here. Very nice job by DRG. There's no creep there, so it's very pivotal that you do that correctly. Because if you don't do it correctly, the punishment is very harsh. It's the death penalty because you lose the game. Ling Bane trying to clean up a little bit of forward Marine position. But the tanks are in position to shell away at the Lings and the Banelings. There is a Viper here going to be throwing down a Blinding Cloud onto the first tank. Yoinks in the second one. So DRG does get... Oh, doesn't even get both of the power units here. And now is forced to abandon his 5th base as well. Oh no, this is going from bad to worse. No more Banelings. And ByuN... Dude, he just methodically cuts away the 5th base from the Zerg time and time again. DRG never really getting over that 70-80 drone count. And ByuN, oh man, that Carapace upgrade being denied was so big for DRG. Like, the trades for ByuN were so solid. Like, ByuN could play badly, honestly. And then still the trades would be pretty good because that whole Carapace upgrade was just deleted from the map. And that's not resources, that's just pure time that you lose. And every unit from the Zerg that doesn't benefit from that upgrade in that time is just a worse unit. And I think that's really what gave ByuN this win. Like, he abused the map terrifically multiple times. And DRG never really got to get a 5th base mining. Like, he had that 5th base for a little bit over here. But then he lost it before being able to reestablish one. And, I mean, you can see it in the army in the end. DRG just kind of couldn't keep it together. And ByuN takes game number 1. And ByuN takes the first game in this best of 5. And now we go to our second game here on Site Delta. ByuN looks to be going for a CC first build. I love it when players throw this into a best of 5. It just, as a Zerg player, this feels bad. You're like, this guy just got away with a way greedier opening, and I can't really punish this. This is something you have to hard counter. And so you feel taken advantage of, and you can't really do anything about it. in that game, it basically tells you that this guy thinks that you won't punish it more often than not. And so you have to then maybe rethink, maybe not for that series, but definitely for the next series. Like, my image is apparently that I don't do a lot of 16 pools or pool first builds in general. It's safe to do this against me. So what do I think about that? 2 barracks going down behind it. Only now just getting a gas here. And interested to see what the follow-up from ByuN will be. It won't be that 2 Cyclone build, or 2 Factory Cyclone build that we saw from Hero Marine versus Raynor, for example, in the Home Story Cup. Which is kind of what I think of when I see this CC first type of build. So what is ByuN going to be doing with it? Is it just going to be a 2-1-1? I mean, when you see ByuN, you think 2-1-1. 2 medevacs, 16 Marines, stim, win. Third base for DRG. Drone being sent out pretty early. And no Reaper has arrived across the map just yet. And as you can see, DRG hasn't seen anything yet. So he does have these 4 lings, but they're not across the map either. So this just feels bad. If you know it's CC first, at least you cannot make these lings. But he doesn't know. And it's not like you can wait to make the lings until you see the Reaper, because if the Reaper goes around and you don't make the lings, you probably take some drone damage, and that's not worth not making the lings. That makes sense. But I guess on some maps you can do it, where you're like, well, if the Reaper has to go around my Overlord, it has to go so far around that my Queen probably will spawn. Oh, DRG going for this rock kill right away. I love that. He just reading the fact that, okay, this is probably CC first. I haven't seen a Reaper. These links are going to be safe. I don't need to do anything. I could just drone, drone, drone. Okay, I see you, DRG. The adaptations. Third, oh my god, that's 4 racks. What the... What? What is ByuN doing? This is 4 barracks. There's nothing else. This is looking like a Vanguard build from Stormgate right now. Where you're like, well, teching up is hard. I'm just gonna make more barracks. Like, is he just going to make Marines, Stim, Combat Shield, and pull the boys? I would actually be really entertained if that was the case. Just go for the all-in with pure Stim Marines? Dude. That would be cool, no? He is still mining gas, though. So... maybe it's just a fake, but you could also just start a factory now. What? Is this a real build? Guys, is this real? He's starting an extra gas, so this is not an all-in. But it's definitely a pressure build. Now, what is DRG doing here? How many lings does he have? Still 4 on the map, so just 1 scouting around. This Overlord sees a bunch of Marines maneuvering. More lings are being created here by DRG, so that he can make enough Banelings in case there is a move out. We do see an Engineering Bay coming out as well. And there's a pretty big Marine force moving across the map here. DRG, are you ready? I mean, if he's ready, then he can kill literally all of these Marines. And then ByuN can't take a third base, ever. So, if you're DRG, you just wait as long as possible. Oh my god, this stim was a little early. The Queens can just run away. Oh my god, this is so much free time for DRG. Nice pullback. Now, ByuN does get on top of the Queens. Only 1 Queen dies so far. And all of the Marines are just going to get cleaned up here. More lings trickling in from DRG, so it's just Marines being traded in for lings. And I think that was really good for DRG. Dude, the way he took this fight was great. Like, I don't know why, but ByuN felt force to stim right here. And he had to walk all the way over here until he could finally hit the Queens. And he one-shot the first one, couldn't quite one-shot the second one, and then the transfuses came in, the lings came in, and now ByuN doesn't have a third base. It's about to start building. We do still have this 4 barracks production, so it's going to be more bio than you're used to as the Zerg player, but I think you're sitting very pretty here. We don't have Carapace just yet. DRG, please, for the love of Gaben, make Carapace. Wow, I did that. Manifested it. You were here to see it. 4th base going down and a 5th base going down, and this is what happens if you don't have Reapers, you don't have Hellions, and you don't have Medivacs. The creep is just going to go everywhere. You can't quite deny it. And now 6:30 is the first time that ByuN can really start denying creep with this force of Marines and Medivacs. Gets on top of the 5th base, and this is why I love double expanding. He goes for the cancel, but he has another one. Why not? If that was your only base, now you're suddenly behind. Because you don't have a 4th base to saturate. But you just had 2 bases. You're good. ByuN doesn't even finish his 3rd base yet, or hasn't finished it yet. +1 is about to finish though, so this is a good timing for ByuN to do an attack. DRG loses his spotting overlord, his Peep and Tom over there. 3rd base is about to be flown over. This Ling is ready to see it though. This Ling giving golden information to DRG right now. Sees there's no 3rd base. Does see an army walk over. This Ling does get cleaned up. Oh my god, the Marines actually getting on top of the Queens here. Oh no, the Queens all get targeted down. They move into the Marines to make room for the Ling Baneling to come in. So just creating more surface area. But almost all of the Queens have been targeted down there by ByuN. An attack here at the south. But look at all the creep that ByuN has to conquer first. It's kind of like marching on Moscow. You just have to go through so much tundra. So much frozen, solid, I don't know, just barren land and trash conditions that by the time you finally arrive at Moscow, half your troops are already sad or dead or both. And DRG does scout that there is a 3rd base, but there's no SCVs here yet. So he doesn't really have to overcommit going off that 60 drone count, but I mean, that's some old Zerg stuff. The new Zergs will still go up to 70+ drones, and there he goes. DRG, modern Zerg, mode engaged. Making him drones, making him Hydras. And now he's sitting chilling on 5th base, being chilling, as they say. Another Queen gets targeted down, but doesn't die. 8 Queens have already died this game. 9 Queens. Dude, ByuN, the Queen Slayer. Slay Queen. Dude, this guy's playing the old Dota patch. He still has the good Mage Slayer. He's just making it happen. Holy moly. And I mean, I feel like ByuN is stabilized here. He has a 3rd base. He has it saturated. 3 more barracks underway. And if he can get a decent 4th timing, he should be fine. He's getting +2 attack. He's kind of behind in upgrades, though. Okay. I'm still a little sus on ByuN here, but I trust in ByuN, so... I don't know, the creep's also kind of looking meh in the middle. I feel like it could have been further, but down here it's huge. So how do you fight into this as ByuN? You have to clear like 2 screens of creep before you get into a base. You do not simply, or one does not simply march onto Moscow. Oh, nice wall, actually. Wow, look at that. If the Lynx could just get in there, get on top of the tank, that would have been pretty big damage, maybe. But instead, this one supply depot and this barracks just withstand a lot of Ling Bane, together with a singular tank. Beautiful positioning. Now just watch, like, one Marauder or Marine get stuck behind this barracks. Still beautiful positioning, though. Oh, that's a lot of Lings, though. We get Hive underway as well. +1 range even underway. And DRG is feeling very good. 90 drones almost. And he can just kind of start overrunning every position that he chooses. Look at the amount of Ling Bane. He has 140 Lings and 60 Banelings right now. And he is moving in onto ByuN. He wants to get some trades done. He has a lot of money, and the Banelings roll in, get pretty good trades onto the SCV line as well. And 13 SCVs do go down. We have a drop in the 5th base of DRG in the meantime, but the Lynx also running into the natural here. And that's a lot of SCVs going down. 24 plus SCVs going down, and that's a pretty good trade for DRG, all things considered, because he's rich. One base did go down to this drop, as I mentioned, but ByuN sitting on 3 bases with 40 SCVs versus a 86 drone Zerg, and all you did was kill 1 base. I mean, +3's underway. You never know. +3 Marines in a dream. I fucking told you! Oh, what the... Okay. That this Marine is... There's 2 Marines stuck. Look at that! Beautiful positioning. These are great because they can hold off Ling drops. Or Ling run-bys. But I guess ByuN really wanted those 2 Marines because he floated over the barracks. And another one gets stuck. Oh, that's so funny, dude. Oh, that's so funny. It looks like it should be able to get out, but it can't. I don't think we're going to see a Ling run-by to show that this 1 Marine can hold off infinity Lings, because they will all aggro that 1 Marine, and they will never be able to reach it. Oh, Ling Bane Hydra getting on top of the army of ByuN. Oh my god, the mines clean up almost all of the Hydras. What a trade there from ByuN. The mines paying off dividends there. Oh my god, doesn't barely get great hits onto those Banelings, and now all of the mines will be cleaned up by DRG. And DRG is just kind of slamming his head into the wall. He's like, I'm just more rich than you, bro. I'm just more rich. I have more money. More money. And he's just throwing in Zerg wave after wave, really embodying the swarm. The hive mind says, go, so I go. Fourth base now for ByuN, which is again his main base, just floating over into a 4th base. DRG going for another remax, and I don't know if ByuN can hold the next one. +3 Carapace is now coming out, countering the +1 or +3 attack from ByuN. But this +3 attack is going to finish. The army supplies are the same. I mean, it's not likely, but it's definitely possible that ByuN takes this one if he gets a god fight. But DRG isn't planning on giving him a god fight, not planning on playing fair, not playing straight up. He doesn't want to fight 1v1, army versus army. He's just going to do run-bys all the frickin' time. And immediately the 4th base has to be lifted again from ByuN. And behind that, DRG just finds more efficiency, getting more upgrades, and could even be starting to, yes, tech up into Ultralisk, getting more up. He's even getting the Burrow upgrade. I think that might be for some Infestor play. Even could be for Burrow Banelings. Ooh, nice hold position on the Lynx there. So you can see the laser from the Widow Mine and just peel off the Ling that is about to die. Some pro gamer shit right there. Blinding clouds going down. You can barely see it on this map, but they are there. So that the Marines that were standing there could not shoot. Instead, they are running back to try and save a 4th base, whilst letting the 3rd base get destroyed. There's one Widow Mine, almost the luckiest Widow Mine alive, but now it's the luckiest Widow Mine that is dead. More Ling Bane Hydra streaming on into the 4th base. And, I mean, this is what dead Terran looks like. Terran tears flow everywhere. No main base, mined out natural, floated 3rd base, 4th base under siege. Dude, ByuN is a fighter. He fights on until there's no hope left. And DRG really squeezed out all the hope from ByuN here in game number 2. And DRG strikes back, taking game number 2, and we are here in game number 3 on Hecate or Hecate, or however it's pronounced, for this game number 3. Let's see if ByuN goes for another double racks in the front. I would like a double racks and not the triple, just to throw DRG off a little bit. But single racks could also be fine. Getting a factory, this super fast gas kind of makes me think it will be a factory. But it could also be a 3 racks, because you also need gas for that. Oh, it looks to be a 2nd racks. And there we go. Before the action kicks off, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Do really appreciate it. And let's see what ByuN has planned for this game for DRG. Really putting forward his foot. He's making the first step. He's taken this game by the horns. And he will decide the tempo. At least early on. First Reaper's coming out. Orbital's coming out. And there's a depot in the back here. I kind of like that. Just like he did on Oceanborn. But now note that it's only 2 barracks. And this is so cool about best of 5s. Oh, DRG sees 1 Rax, doesn't see the second one. Probably afraid that it might be a Marine. He needs to float onto this thing. He needs to check if there's a CC. He needs to see more things. DRG! I mean, maybe he just assumes that it's 2 and he wants to know if it's 3. Maybe he's practiced with ByuN. And he knows that ByuN will put it in the main if he has 3. That's possible, because he did that on Oceanborn. He put it basically in this position. Now the Reaper does get into the natural, and nothing much should happen. Maybe a Ling dies. This is not a Clem Reaper, you know. I mean, a ByuN Reaper's still pretty fearsome, must admit. Oh my god. 2 more Lings from DRG, the respect. But, I mean, also there's just more Reapers underway. No more gas being mined, speed is underway, double queen underway, and no third base for DRG just yet. And ByuN immediately stops Reaper production. This is kind of cool. Like, no more Reapers. He knows that DRG might be kind of overreacting because he might think it's a 3 Rax, and he's just under-committing to the 2 Rax. But DRG is not flooding Lings like he did in the last game. Which honestly is impressive because he doesn't have an Overlord here. He doesn't know how many Reapers there are coming out. If ByuN had his Reapers over here, pulled up, and now like 4 more Reapers show up, and he goes into the main, he can do a lot of damage here. I guess that's the next layer of mind games. Creep Tumor does get taken down. Nice snipe by those Reapers, and Speed's about to finish. These Lings are here. The Reaper's trying to get that efficiency in. That Red Reaper is safely tucked in between his comrades. And most of these Lings got killed before Speed even finished. Yikes for DRG. And now we see these Tech Lab and Reactor here on the outside. Let's see if these add-ons are in peril in the near future. No Roach Warren, but we do see some gas. More Lings and drones and a third base underway for DRG. Ooh, Reaper's getting more kills, dude. How many Lings have died in this game? 8 Lings have died? Oh, that's not as many as I thought. But still, for no investment at all from ByuN's side, I think this build is the coolest we've seen yet. And it's cool because we have that context from game 1, where he went balls to the walls, 8 Reapers. And now DRG. He didn't scout the second Rax, but he did see extra Reapers, so he could have been like, oh shit, this is 3 Rax. But he didn't overcommit to the Lings. But he could have, and that would have been devastating. Indirect economical damage. Quick third base as well from ByuN. Dude, the adaptations here. Last game, he was super late on this orbital. And the first game as well. ByuN completely throwing around what he's doing. We see armory here. Is he going to do Hellbats? It's going to be Hellbat Marine. Right? What is this for? Otherwise, it might be for Widow Mines. I guess. Because the armory isn't done yet. But it will be done soon-ish. Dude, this is the coolest build so far. ByuN playing so cool. Dude, and that's why we cast mostly series on this channel, dude. If you see one game, it's just not as cool as seeing this game number 3 after seeing the first 2. And there we go. We see Hellbats. Haven't seen that unit in this series at all yet. There are some Banelings and lots of Queens here as well. ByuN sees that DRG is actually quite ready to defend this. DRG on top of things here. Damn. Did not see the armory. He's just ready for it. I wonder if he just knows this build exists. I mean, if I see what DRG sees, that makes sense. I'm not expecting Hellbats to show up at my doorstep. At all. We do have a pretty high amount of queens. 9 queens are present. We have the transfuses. The lings are coming in. The banelings are coming in. And the lings get past the hellbats. Get decent connections on the banelings as well. Most of the marines did get picked up into these medevacs. And, oh, the medevacs didn't get the drop in the main. And now kind of have to get out of there because these queens are ready to snipe some medevacs. Queens actually stepping off of creep. You don't expect that to happen. Transfuses can't happen off of creep either. Oh my god, this hellbat really wants... Or it really has a death wish. Taking the most dangerous path, just having a low HP, walking into lings. Fourth base going down for DRG. We do see a lair done. Double upgrades have been started by DRG. And going again for the Hydralisk style. So it's DRG just kind of playing the same thing every game, reacting to what ByuN is doing. And if your macro is super bonkers crazy, that is definitely an option in Zerg versus Terran. But my god, do you need to know when you can drone? Or when you should drone, I must say. Because otherwise you probably just kind of die. You need to do very good risk management. It's kind of like playing poker, I feel like. Sometimes. You just kind of need to make drones. Even though you might die for some dumb builds, it's like, well, 90% of the time I should just be making drones here. Oh my god. Medevacs go down to the queens here. Queens are so ferocious. 1-1 is done for the Terran, and 1-1 is also done for the Zerg. Zerg can take the lead here, but Terran as well in the upgrades. And boom, Zerg starts them a little earlier. I kind of thought this armory didn't exist, but obviously it does. We see mech plating coming out. So his medevacs and his mines will be a little bit more tanky. I mean, I think especially on the medevacs, that is not to be understated. That is pretty good. And on your Liberators later as well, we see a secondary factory coming out as well. So might be seeing a bunch of mines coming out. Oh, nice target fire on the Banelings. Doesn't quite get the target on the last two. And the Banelings actually get the better of that group of Marines. And that feels pretty good if you're DRG now. You're almost on 80 workers. Boom, there we go. 80 workers. Hydra speed underway. 2-2 underway. 5th base ready to be saturated. And you even have your trademark random spore crawler in the main. I think DRG is sitting pretty here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw down an infestation pit rather sooner rather than later. Just go for the hive tech. Get ready for it. Maybe get a couple infestors. Or maybe he just wants to max out. I don't know. We see a 4th base here for ByuN that DRG doesn't know anything about. So he doesn't know about how ByuN is looking at this game right now. Because ByuN has been looking very, very aggressive in the past 2 games. So when you're DRG, it makes sense to not be too greedy. You are expecting to have to absorb more and more attacks from ByuN. Now, it does get the infestation pit after holding another attack. We already see all of the Hydra upgrades. Is he going for a Lurker transition here, or is he going into the Ultralisk again? I kind of hate Hydralisk plus Ultralisk, because Ultras always get stuck behind Hydras if you have too many Hydras. But if you don't have enough Hydras, they just feel useless. Oh. Oh, I thought I saw Lurker, lol. So, playing with Ultralisk and Hydra requires skill and planning. Which is, you know, I don't play Zerg for that. I play Zerg because I'm talented. Ooh, big run by coming in here from DRG. Gets on top of the 3rd base from ByuN. And all of these SCVs are in peril. Oh my god, the supply depot gets closed. Oh my god, the traitor supply depot is like, good luck out there, boys. And all of the SCVs from the 3rd base go down. The 4th base here is an orbital, actually. ByuN being so greedy this game. And gets Giga punished here by DRG. Look at the map. It's completely red. With blood from ByuN on the left side. And DRG's units on the right side. And ByuN just taps out. He's like, well, lol, I got wrecked. I got rinsed. doesn't have to shower anymore. He got super rinsed by DRG in this game number 3. And DRG takes us into game number 4, and he's now leading the series 2-1. He's on match point. He only needs 1 dub to close out this series. But this is kind of a difficult map for Zerg. Like, this area in particular is just very difficult. If there's tanks behind these rocks, like, what are you gonna do? Like, this choke is so small as well. It's like this big. Because this is a doodad, as you can see. Like, this is the map, the choke. It's, how are you defending that? It's so annoying as Zerg. It's really annoying. And if you take this base, you're on the low ground, so there can be tanks here, here. Could even be behind this. Tanks here are also annoying. Like, this is just a hard map for Zerg, okay? 2 racks coming out from ByuN again. I like it. It looked so cool last game. Going for the 3rd one this time around. And DRG not even sending out an Overlord anymore. DRG just going for Hatch first again. I would have loved to see, or I would still love to see something a little bit more forcing from DRG this game. I know that you've been winning most of your games with this standard stuff, but this is your, like, this is a free game basically. You can lose one. So why not go for a 16 pool, get some roaches out there, you know, throw ByuN off a little, because ByuN has gotten to do what he wants to do for most of this series so far. And here we go, more Reapers coming out from ByuN once again. Fear the Reaper, man. Sadly, I've already used that line in one of my YouTube videos as a title for Clem Reapers, so yeah, ByuN, I'm sorry. I guess you are the Queen Slayer, but only if you win the series. Or not. No spoilerino. DRG. Defending this 1 Reaper. Only, oh, more Lings coming out. I think he saw this extra Reaper. Because otherwise you don't make these extra Lings at all. Oh, we see Sporecrawler coming out. And let's check quickly. Nope. DRG does not know, but now he knows because he sees the 2nd Reaper, right? But he probably caught a glimpse of that 1 Reaper with this Overlord, which is why he made the extra Lings. Now Lings are ready once again to stop these Reapers, and DRG doing the same thing as on Oceanborn. Even gets a grenade up there. Gets a couple Ling kills here. But it's, oh, it's actually literally 1 Ling kill so far. DRG is rinsing him again. But 3 more Reapers underway. We do see a drone going down there. Oh. Speed is not finished yet. Now Speed is about to finish. And how many Reapers do we have on deck? It's going to be 8 once again. Secondary base being built on location. Engineering base coming out. So this build looks very similar to the Oceanborn game. And that's the only game that ByuN ended up winning. So let's see if it is his lucky build. 3rd base now going down for DRG, but look at this. These 8 Reapers are very annoying. Shooing back the Queens, actually canceling the 3rd base. That is big. That's honestly pretty big. Like, it's, DRG is not out of it by any means, but it's just super annoying. And it definitely can't happen again. And these Queens not being able to transfuse each other here, also really annoying. DRG now finally droning behind it. And ByuN getting his 2nd base operational as well. We see +1 and Stim coming out, Factory coming out. Oh, this Queen, oh my god. You really want this to finish or you can transfuse. And I expect another starport to come out, just medevacs with Marines and Stim once again. There we go. Exact same build from a ByuN as game number 1, and DRG now has all the power, all the knowledge. He can adapt, but this map might even be harder than Oceanborn to stop that constant siege tank aggression. because ByuN was abusing the map on Oceanborn. But this map is just rife for abuse. Or is it ripe for abuse? I think rife. Dude, it's not my language, okay? It's not my first. Not my mother tongue. Good job, DRG, breaking down the rocks. If these are not down when the first attack comes, which is right now, you might be in grave danger, sir. Because when are you clearing up these rocks ever again? If it's not right now. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. The Reapers and the Marines come out without medevacs, actually. Oh, so this timing is just a little earlier than last time. Last time he waited in the middle of the map for the medevacs to come, and then DRG cleared it up. But now, the Reaper Marine is actually here without medevac support, just staying off creep, being annoying. So in a way, this attack was a little bit more effective, and he hasn't lost all of the units. Now we do see a medevac with more Marines coming out. Can a tank fit through there? It should. Rocks are still alive. Focus on the rocks, guys. Focus on them rocks. First tank about to finish. We see combat shields coming out as well. We're going to learn if this tank can actually fit through there, or if it gets stuck. Oh, reinforcements almost get caught here, but actually the Queen kind of gets caught. Fourth base going down for DRG. Transfused is not necessary yet. Lingbane trying to wrap around here, and look at this position. I told you about that position. It's annoying. Queens get caught by the Marines once again. The Queen Slayer comes in, and wow, the first medevac actually gets targeted down by DRG. Good job. Dude, I thought it was ByuN getting DRG, but DRG actually getting ByuN there. Targeting down that medevac, and the medevac does go out of the sky. Or it falls out of the sky because it got hit by 1,000 cuts of the Queen attack. No creep in front of the third base, though. And barely any creep in front of the fourth base. Rocks get taken down. But I bet you it's not going to get him. Actually going to kill the rocks. Wow, okay, DRG is done. He's winning this game. Lol. Although, unless 2 siege tanks on top of your third base, protected by a bunch of minerals. Yeah, cool. Nice map. That's what you think. If you are a Zerg player right now, you're like, oh no, I should have had some creep there. I should have had my queens here. I should have never let him get in position there. He just ran over there and put tanks. Now the Lingbane does come in. Queens from the sides, targeting down the medevacs, and the Lings, Banes try to get into the meat grinder. And a lot of meat has been grinded. The Terran forces can feast for days onto all of those delicious chicken wings and Zergling broth. Because the third base is also about to fall. Lots of free larvae for everybody to suckle on. Because I don't think DRG can recover from this. His third base gets killed. That's the second time. First it gets cancelled. Now it gets killed. And DRG just 3 bases now. 64 drones. So ByuN actually quite committed. No third base. But how are you stopping this? Look at this position again. The tanks abusing the terrain like a king, like a pro. Like that goddamn annoying Terran from like 5.1k on the ladder. And oh my god, all of the Banelings get targeted down. Not a lot of queens remaining. Not a lot of Banelings here to deal with this marine clump. And these tanks just shelling down the Zerg forces before they even get close to the army of ByuN. And no Lings are available to like sneak around. DRG's army is just so small, and ByuN in between the bases of DRG. Just wonderful performance here. His army positioning has been immaculate. No creep to assist DRG with this either. And a couple Banelings come in from the main. Every so often we see some units just kind of dying over in this corridor of death. And ByuN takes down DRG, and we are heading to a game numero 5. And we are here on match point for both players. Game number 5 in this best of 5. We have ByuN going up against DRG on Alcyone. That great map with these gold bases, dude. This map's just cool. Can we just agree that this map is cool? It doesn't even feel like Giga imbalanced like some of the other, like, more creative maps. ByuN going again for this barracks in the wall. Honestly, I would kind of dig it if he goes for another 3 racks. It's been working really well for him. He's been really setting the pace with those 3 racks and just getting the kill on DRG. He doesn't need to do the greedy stuff. He doesn't need to, like, 2 racks with a 3rd CC and get a fast 4th CC like he tried on Hecate or Hecate. Because DRG just kind of dies to the 3 racks. But it doesn't look to be happening. ByuN going for a 1 racks into a CC here, or orbital CC, I guess. So going for a standard opener here on Alcyone. But he goes with a Marine, so plans to get a pretty fast factory after his CC. Could be a Cyclone opener. Could just be fast Hellions. Other side of the map, DRG, of course, doing the same thing he's done for the last 4 games. And there we go, we see a factory in the wall, and this Marine is making sure that this Overlord does not get a good look at that. Couple shots onto that Overlord. He will be safe there on that high ground. But this factory will go unscouted. But on the flip side, we don't see any links for DRG in production at all. Stop mining gas, gets his speed, but doesn't have to make any links. Can get a pretty fast 3rd base here. And just drone. Oh, actually going to be mining out this base here, or this mineral, before taking the base. Interesting. Just making sure there's no random building there, I guess. Just dotting, or crossing your T's, dotting your I's, or dotting your T's and crossing your I's if you're dyslexic. Is that how it works? Starport here, and we see the reactor Hellion coming out, so I think we're going to see some Liberator play here. But there's a tech lab here. It could also just be Banshee, Hellion Banshee from the front. That's kind of crazy. Could even be a Raven, I guess? Yeah, we see no upgrade here, so it's going to be... The tech lab is for this starport. Very cool. And Orbital is online. I'm kind of expecting to see a pretty quick 3rd base. Might also be a fusion core. Nope, we see a Banshee plus Cloak being started here. And a tech lab on the barracks. Signifying that there will be a bio follow-up. I mean, it could also be secondary starport, double port battle cruiser. Definitely not happening. Not enough gases for that. But we can dream. 4 Hellions now run into the natural here. Cheesy asshole just runs into the drone line, fries 5 drones, and now you have to make lings as well. Just more indirect damage. Oof, 2 more drones get targeted down by these Hellions. And that's what happens if you don't pay attention for 2 seconds. These Terran guys will just run into your base with their cars and torch barbecue your drones. 7 drones go down for the cost of 4 Hellions. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And immediately going into more barracks and constructing a reactor. Probably 4 barracks. And these 2 Hellions can still keep map control, or at least Zelnaga control. We see 3 Spore Crawls coming on out of there. And does DRG know? Oh, he does know. He does know. He definitely knows. 2 more drones go down. And now Cloaked Banshee waddles on in. But there's a Spore Crawler here as well. And if this Banshee gets baited a little bit more... Oh, can it hit the... Oh, it can hit... Oh, it gets into range. I was like, if it can... hit that 1 patch without being seen, it can deny mining for a little bit. Do see an engineering bay coming out here. Oh my god, what is this? Keeps shooting back. Sorry guys, I'm not a pro gamer. My mouse control is not what it used to be. 3 more drones actually going down to the double Banshee squad. First they one-shot drones together. Oh! don't get a kill. They actually both hit different lings. Coordination not on point. Fire at will. And DRG just droning up here onto 60 drones and beyond. But can ByuN hit before that finishes? +1 almost halfway done, so I don't think so. I think DRG is going to get a 4th base. I think he's going to get up to 70 workers. And he does have a gas here, not saturated it yet. Does get the double Evo and a lair. DRG really a fan of getting Baneling speed and then upgrades, which I agree with. That shit's dope. And you also kind of leave open the door to a potential Muta play, although he has 6 or 5 gases. So it's most likely going to be that Hydra play. See 4th base halfway done now. And the upgrade's about to come up for DRG. Carapace coming up. Not building those Evos where they can be sniped. Because that has happened to him one too many times in this series. Exactly one time. Double ups are here, but +1 is almost done for DRG. 65 drones, so he's playing pretty safe against ByuN, who has been showing nothing but aggression. No 3rd base again from ByuN. We see 5 barracks and 1 factory siege tank. DRG just making units right here, not sparing anything for the defense. Decent creep spread here, and this siege tank trying to get a nice position, but can't quite get a nice position. Like, if he gets a couple tanks here, of course, he can create another corridor of death. But for now, it's just a kind of a cheerleader tank. It's a tank you retreat into, you know? It's an anchor. Oh, moves onto the other side here, and DRG has mined out one of these patches, but definitely hasn't mined out all of them. Oh my god, you can't go down there. No! DRG. That's a lot of queens, but you can't defend this position. You can run down there with all of your Ling Bane and try to get into that meat grinder once again, just like last game. Lots of Lings, Banelings trying to do a counterattack here for DRG. And now he clicks them onto the 3rd base, thinking that there might be one. Oh my god, he now sees there's no 3rd base at all, buddy. You still have your base. He does saturate his 4th base. Now probably going to be his 3rd base. DRG is in survival mode here. Rolls in his Banelings, actually going for the counterattack. Yes, DRG. We haven't seen him do this just yet. Gets on top of the tank, gets on top of the Marines. Nice tucked in Marines there. Getting or lowering the surface area a lot. Do see a drop here onto the 3rd base. 4th base for DRG does go down, or well, it used to be a 3rd base, but now it's just a dead base. And cool little counterattack there from DRG. If he gets on top of the production, he can do... well, you can just end the game right there, but oh my god, ByuN is in the middle of his bases. Only Lings here. Where are the Banelings? The Banelings are in the middle of the map. DRG! Did he mess up? The counterattack is going. Lots of Marines are killing stuff here. We saw another Baneling bust. And more Lings and Banelings into the main base of the Terran here. This tank here in the back. These Marines here. Oh my god. Getting all of the value. Lots of SCVs dying. Oh my god, the Marines, the Zerglings were killing the barracks. And not the SCVs. The natural got killed. The 4th base got killed. The 3rd base was in peril. And DRG sent out a little too big of a force across the map. Didn't quite keep a pocket of Banelings behind, which is like one of the pillars of ZVT. Wow, these tanks just chilling. Is that you keep about 10 to 12 Banelings, sometimes more, because then the Terran can never clump up his Marines and just stim into your base. Because then you just roly-poly in the Banelings, and you get to kill all of his Marines if he doesn't look for one fraction of a second. But that didn't occur. He didn't keep the Banelings. He did a little gambit there. The DRG gambit. But it did not pay off. He did not have Banelings, and ByuN stimmed in for the win. And even though he was killing all of his dudes in his base, his own base was completely and utterly annihilated by ByuN. And thus ByuN takes this series 3-2. Guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. and just a couple more games from the qualifiers of those players that did practice really hard for the Katowice qualifiers to make it into Katowice, but didn't quite make it. And DRG is one of those, and he's a legend, so I just wanted to see him play. First time featuring him on this channel, I believe. So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.